What's up, everybody? We got a really cold day here in Pennsylvania today, but we're just waiting to get loaded here at the lumber yard. So we're gonna take this time to talk a little bit about rates and what you can do to be successful in the trucking industry. So let's hop into the truck where it's warm. Okay, so like I said before, a good bit of people have been asking about rates and asking for advice, different things like that. So I'm gonna let you guys know kind of how we do it here, and you know, try to help some of you guys out a little bit. And you know, one of our goals was, when we started out the trucking here, is not to deal with brokers. Like, we want to, you know, get in contact with shippers or receivers. Like, basically we want to work for the shipper, the person selling the product, or we want to work for the buyer, the person buying the product. Because if you deal with brokers, that's fine, but they keep a cut of it. So if you get contacts with shippers, you know, you get to get the full price basically. You don't get the broker keeping 10% or whatever they keep. So we're just going to go through a little bit of that. And basically, I started with this company 3 years ago in 2020, right before COVID hit. And we had one truck at the time that was just a truck to haul our equipment. And we also had the flatbed that we would pull with the day cab. So we had the equipment trailer and the flatbed. Most of the time we're hauling equipment of our own and some for other people. And I just want to share with you guys kind of how we got it started, and also you know, how I help with that and am kind of learning in the process. So let's get started. All right, guys, so we're gonna film the rest of this while we're going down the road. I got my paperwork, got loaded, got my paperwork and everything, and we got to keep moving here on Friday, so we'll film the rest of it while we're driving. But just to go back to the beginning here of how I started with this company, Sam, the dispatcher, he knew I was kind of looking for something different, so he offered me the job, and here I am 3 years later. So that was 2020, right before COVID hit. And I was driving the day cab for a while before we got this truck, hauling equipment, hauling lumber with the flatbed. And you know, our goal was to buy another truck, and so that's what we did. We found this one in Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee, from J&S Truck Sales. We bought this truck. But anyway, what Sam's goal was from the start was, you know, not to get brokers involved. We want to find our own work, and that's how we're gonna buy another truck. And you know, our goal isn't to own 10 trucks or anything, but just to own a few trucks. And so yeah, about a year later we bought this truck, and it's been pretty busy ever since. And you know, the main thing here that I want to share with you guys is, how do you be successful in trucking? How do you find work? But the way to be successful in trucking is, you're gonna have to work for it. If you want to make connections, and that's the way to do it. Number one, you're gonna want to make connections. Don't just run off of a load board. And in order to make those connections and, you know, get new customers and all that stuff, you're gonna have to put in the work. You're gonna have to go door to door, shop to shop, you know, whatever it takes. Probably have to start out with local work, and then that's another thing we did. We started out with all local. We were only running local. Even when we got this truck. For the first, man, I don't know, half year, I ran, you know, I didn't go farther than about, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, you know, Virginia. And we just kind of built it from there. And you know, what happened with a lot of guys when COVID hit, right over the time I started here, you know, when COVID hit, it was a little bit like, what's going to happen now type of thing for a couple months. And then suddenly people seen, oh man, you know, there's a lot of money out there to be made. Excuse me. And with trucking, you know, it calmed down. It was dead for a little bit, but all of a sudden trucking was, man, you could make a lot of money off the load board. So what guys were doing is they were just buying a truck, and I'm gonna run off the load board. Hey, watch me, I'm gonna buy a Peterbilt and a step deck, and I'm gonna run off the load board. I don't need to make no connections, right? It's like you just ran off the load board. You just went out and the load board took you wherever the money was, that's where you went. And that's fine, but what we were doing is we were staying local, maybe not making quite as much money, staying with our customers, and, you know, just taking the work that was there. Didn't take work from any brokers because you could make a lot of money doing that at the time. So we just kept going. And I kept telling Sam, I'm like, man, we need to get, you know, some loads off the load board because they're paying well. He was like, no, we're gonna work for our customers because that's gonna pay off in the end. And to tell you the truth, now, the last half year, especially when fuel prices went way up, you know, the load boards came crashing down. Guess what? Our trucks have not been sitting. I haven't taken a day off since I'm here because I didn't have work. And I'm being serious. I take days off for vacations, but I have not taken a day off because I haven't had work. So the secret really is make connections, dedicate yourselves to those customers, because another thing that happened when the load board prices were so good and the brokers were paying outlandish prices to get stuff shipped, you know. So what happened back when, you know, 2020, 2021, when rates were just through the roof, some of our customers were contacting, you know, guys that worked for them, right? Like truck drivers that would help them out. And those guys would say, nope, I'm busy. I got to do this run, I got to do this run. They're running off the load board, right? They're taking better stuff. Now, the funny thing is, now those guys are calling back. Oh, I need work. Do you have something for me? You know, the rates are trash. Do you have some? No. It's like, no, they don't. It's like, it's slow for us too. So, like I said, that's some of our customers that have been telling me about that. How now the guys that left them and wouldn't work for them because they got 50 cents more on the load board, or coming back and saying, hey, I need work again, I need work. Well, that work's not there anymore. Excuse me. So just jumping at everything that pays a little bit more does not pay off. So if you don't want to deal with brokers, make your connections, go door to door. You're not going to be terrible busy at first, maybe. It's going to take a while. But all the lumber that you guys see me haul is because of a local connection. Almost all of them. All the lumber that I haul is because of a local connection that we had. It all came through that. Because we made the local connection and started hauling for them, we got to know, you know, their ship or the person they buy lumber from and all this stuff, and now we're getting loads from all over the place. And honestly, you know, like I said, it takes a little bit of patience. You gotta, oh man, there's a car burning over here. You guys see that? Woo. That's not good. And one thing that I always tell people, you know, don't be one of those guys that goes around and lowballs your neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go down the road to the sawmill and you say, hey, I know John is hauling your loads for, you know, $105 an hour, but I'll do it for 95 or 90. Don't be that guy either. Like, what we've done over the years is you just give people your business card. Hey, if you need us, hit us up. And I mean, a perfect example of that is, oh man, probably 3 months ago, the one place I haul into, it's just a small place, small little place outside of town. I told him, I said, we go all over the place. You know, let me know if you need something hauled. So I gave him my business card. Last week he called. He said, I got 12 skids going to Bridgeton, New Jersey. I was like, man, how convenient. I got equipment to pick up in Bridgeton, New Jersey. So that's, you know, like I said, you make connections, you put your name out there, and just grow from there. Because something like that there, I'm taking the 12 skids down, and literally 1.5 miles down the road, I got 2 pieces of equipment to load. So yeah, I mean, you just, you know, you get your name out there and you work directly for customers. You know, another thing we enjoy about it is getting to know new people, getting to build relationships instead of just never knowing where you're going to ship or where you're going to pick stuff up. You get to know most of the people you know, deliver and pick up at. So that's another advantage of getting your own work as a truck driver. And back when I started, you know, it was one of them things where I did quite a bit of it myself, like found customers, got connections and things like that. It wasn't always fun, you know. You'd go to local businesses and say, hey, do you need somebody to do your hauling? They'd be like, no. And then you'd give them your business card. And sometimes, some guys I heard from them later on, but one of our biggest customers for equipment, I called them soon after COVID, like June of 2020, and I said, hey, you know, we're looking for a little more work. If you need us, we have a truck. You know, I'll give you, if you want our number, I'll give it to you. He's like, oh, okay, but we, you know, everybody's looking for work, and we have our own truck and stuff. And I said, yeah, I know. But, you know, here's our info in case you need us. All right, sounds good. A couple months later, they got us to haul something. Me and Sam built a relationship with the guys in the shop and the guys that dispatch the rental equipment and all that, and now we're hauling for them all the time. They're one of our biggest equipment hauling customers. And the same way with the lumber. Because of a local connection, we got to know the guy that sells the lumber, and now whenever next week I got to load the Virginia, Southern Virginia. Hey, you have a load out of Southern Virginia? Yup, boom, done. One quick phone call. And there again, you're getting a little bit more because you're not paying the broker, you're not paying the middleman. So what I'm telling you guys is, it pays off to be a little patient and, you know, maybe stay local for a little bit or build your connections. Building connections takes time. But if you want to be successful in trucking, number one, build relationships. Get connections. You can just run off the load board, that's up to you, but it's going to be harder to, you know, most big trucking companies, they grow from local connections, and then they just get more and more work and more trucks because they have the connections. If you buy a truck and don't have any connections, you know, good luck. It's going to be hard. And I know guys that started in 2020 because it was good. Oh man, trucking's paying so well, you know, I'm going to buy a truck. I know 2 guys, as soon as the load boards went in the dumps, or maybe a month or 2 afterward, boom, had to sell their trucks. They weren't making money. So, you want to be successful in trucking, build relationships, make all the connections you can, and stay with your customers. Stay with your customers. You know, one thing I've figured out, me and Sam have figured out, you know, if you just dedicate yourself, you know, to customers, they will treat you right. I mean, you're gonna have people that come in and love all you, and they might take the next guy that, you know, offers to do it for a little bit less. But most companies, most shippers, they just want dedication. They want somebody, a dedicated truck driver that's not gonna flippity flop all over the place and take, you know, the greener grass on the other side as soon as it's there. They want you to commit to them, and they'll treat you well. So I hope I'm not, you know, missing anything. I'm probably missing some stuff that I was gonna say, but you know, you guys can always keep asking me questions, comment or email, whatever you need to. But yeah, I mean, that's what we found over the last 3 years. Find your own work, even though it's challenging. It is, I'm telling you, it's not easy. Unless you have like an uncle or an aunt or something like that that owns a business, that don't count, because some people do get in easy because of you know, somebody in the family being involved with a big shipper or company. But yeah, it's not going to be easy, but you build your own connections and then build relationships from there, and dedicate yourselves to certain people. Commit to your customers. You got to do that. You got to commit to your customers. So thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions, like I said, hit me up, email or comments. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope I covered everything. I don't know if I did or not, but I'm gonna get this load of lumber home, and then I gotta reload for next week, and then weekend it is. So thanks for watching. Happy Friday. Have a blessed weekend. God bless you all. See you next time.